Dr. Nnaji, I think you've raised a point and you used the word hunger, I think, countless
It is at the root
times.
of everything
Because
now.
if you look at the headlines today, it's not looking any good or better for
Because they don't
Nigerians.
have better words.
Because if you
It's
look
worse
at,
than this.
You're looking at workers, some of them are about to lose their jobs. We're looking at salary cuts in the face of 18,000 naira that we have always said wasn't enough. And everyone is thinking of something that has to be done to that particular wage. What do you think we haven't been able to get right here when we talk about 18,000 naira minimum wage being bogus for the Nigerian worker as a minimum, and also looking at the workforce that is also about going down, and possibly another agitation or request for bailout for states? Putting all of this three together, what does it put on the plate for you in discussing governance for Nigeria, in Nigeria?
In fact, there's nothing in the plate. If you ask me, nothing in the plate. Because ordinarily, the normal daily balance is that at all, nothing worse. Even those who are working now are underpaid. If they are earning that 18, even 100,000 naira. Because as you dress well and you look as if you are neat, you are a victim. Walking the street, the beggars after you. If you are a member of a particular group, anybody that is less privileged in that group look up to you. It's the same small income. In the villages, if you have any linkage, in your church, in anywhere you attend, that salary is under attack. If you are paying school fees, it's the same place. Okay, now, remove now the source of that income. So what is in the plate? Nothing. And you see, whenever a full bucket of water is depleted, another one becomes half full. I don't know whether you get my drift. So if they say Nigeria is broke, are some Nigerians broke too? You are here. You reel out billions that some people have. That is the one that, a thief is the one that have been caught. Forget about what the law defines. If you are not caught and there's no evidence that you have, there's no stealing. But the thing is that the resources have been depleted by those who were supposed to have managed them. And we see how well they live. How well they live. While the ordinary citizens wallow in abject poverty.
Is there a connection, sorry, Nota, is there a connection between this lack and want or demand from states and sanctions being given to some corporate organizations in the country?
I could see how glibly some governors, even though I subscribe to the fact that if you fall short of the law, you face the full weight, because the law was made without looking at anybody's face. It was not targeted at anybody or any corporate body. And especially in the circumstance that they said that MTN was even party. It's subscribed to that. And, if we have to be very frank, MTN have been very, they described MTN as a serial defaulter on many grounds. And we can attest to that, even when it had the monopoly, near monopoly of communications here, and so on and so forth. But then the question is, those people who managed the regulatory bodies in the past, can they be made to account for the seeming impunity that had continued to grow as an octopus? In many facets, not only NCC, power, all the regulatory bodies are like elephants with foots of clay.
You know why I ask about correlation?
So just to answer that question, the correlation is that perhaps if the money is downloaded, it will be available for sharing, because sharing is what we know about. Nobody is talking about how to bake the cake. Sharing, and that's why our governance process has become dangerous. Let me tell you, by the time this thing happening now is a blessing in disguise, and I say it with every sense of responsibility. Nature does not abhor vacuum. You might be a serial beater, either of wife or anybody. Helpless people, you beat them, maltreat them. somehow, somewhere, someday, along the line, somebody who is egged, either have been beaten until he grew up to become a behemoth, will descend on you, such that after you have finished with that experience, you'll be going to all public fora to announce that you are now a changed man. Nature does not allow a particular bad situation to continue. The point we are making is that let them continue with the celebration of their ignorance. Because when they come and talk of glibly on television, showing that they were completely derelict on the job they were supposed to do, and this is also at the root of the restructuring of this country's political schemes, that people are talking about true federalism. We are not practicing true federalism.
But
if we have...
Sorry to cut you. What do you say when you have a cabinet? You have commissioners, you have people that were meant to drive the economy, to be resourceful, to making sure that revenue comes from different sector or different avenue in such states.
Yes, Suleiman, you have witnessed even a professor of economics, when he comes on television, when he has a responsibility to do something, he will say that a governor has graciously, he's quoting that it is the governor that is now in his brain thinking, because he wants to show allegiance. I can be out of sight and out of communication with you for 10 years, but you know that we are friends. I don't need to demonstrate it by jactitations or just theatricals. The point is that who are those being recruited into the governance process? A governor that is not too good will not want to get those who are better than himself, or if he does get those better than himself by qualification and so on, they will need to be cowed, so that they must behave like Mumu in that sense. And that is what is going on.
Yeah, but how do you think that we can move forward?
We can move forward with this, but like I said, nature will always intervene. Like the money is drying up.
But
you understand?
But the incomes are not drying up. Dr.
Sorry?
Nnaji.
I'm sorry?
The incomes are not drying up.
From Nigeria.
Hold on. The security votes are still there and they're still getting
That is what I'm saying.
How would the law help us in all
The security
of
votes
that?
will come when the money from the center continues to download. I don't know whether you get the point. It's not a question of preachment. It will happen naturally. The only thing is that by the time their own security votes would have dried up, many Nigerians would have been suffering from marasmus.
So you don't see hope at the end of this tunnel?
There is always hope. Hope is like a lily. It never perishes. It's the last thing that leaves a man or a woman. Once you lose hope, even with 10 million naira there, you drop dead now. We always hope that there will be better. I said nature will intervene. It's not going to continue this way. Most of the things achieved in this country have not been achieved by agitation by human beings. It's that the intervention of nature, because God so loves this country. But the point I'm saying is that when Nigerians have gone through this pain themselves, next time somebody comes on the podium to tell them, I will give you road, you must say how you are going to make the money for that road.
Dr. Chima Nnaji, quite an interesting time with you, public affairs analyst and a lawyer. Thanks for coming on
Thank you very
this
much.
morning. Don't forget, in some hours from today, the people of Kogi will be going to the polls. We'll be looking at preparations in Kogi State. Stay with us.